Welcome to the CSUF-Com live show from Milan, Italy. 22 of our sports media students have been hard at work the last 2 weeks, covering the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics.
We are here to celebrate their work and find out how this once-in-a-lifetime experience has been for them. Sergio and I know firsthand that these students have encountered as they experience an exciting new culture, with the backdrop being the world premiere sporting event.
Jaden and I were part of a group of students who participated in the CSUF Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Study Abroad, coordinated by Com Professor Gail Jansen Brisbane. We spent 3 weeks telling the stories of the Paris Olympic Games, starting with the opening ceremony and finishing with the USA women's soccer gold medal match win against Brazil.
It was something both of us will never forget. We built lifelong friendships, enhanced our journalism skills, and boosted our resumes. Many of our other students with us in Paris have graduated and are now in the industry.
Now, without further ado, let's bring in our first pair of students from Milan. Joining us are Giselle Medina and Evan Fennell. They are live at a fellow academic institution, Polytechnic University of Milano.
Jaden Chow from Milan. I am Evan Fennell.
And I'm Giselle Medina. Buonasera.
We are here on day 17 in Italy, in the heart of Polytechnical University. This is spontaneous journalism here at its finest, okay? We have limited access to the Olympic Games.
Doesn't stop us, though.
It did not stop us, because this is what journalism is about, spontaneity, okay? And we learned a lot, let that be known. And I had fun too.
So much fun.
I was able to go to a curling event. I was able to go to US women's hockey. I was able to do so many different things. I saw the Duomo. I saw so much.
Evan, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Oh, my fault.
At the beginning of the show, but let's keep the same excitement. But let's go back to the first day when we arrived. The day after we arrived, when we were still dealing with jet lag, after 13 hours of international travel, we took on the city with a walking tour to see the highlights of Milan's storied history. The State Fullerton World News Team arrived in Milan, Italy to cover the 2026 Winter Olympics this past Wednesday. But before documenting tomorrow's news, us Titans took a look back at the history of the Olympic host city through a guided day tour. Embarking from the metro closest to our accommodation, the first stop was the iconic Duomo di Milano, or the Milan Cathedral.
It's basically telling us about the history of Milan, covering 600 years of history. It is a symbol of the city.
A few meters down are the 4 streets that make up the city's fashion district. The 4-sided luxury shopping center is often considered the heart of Milanese fashion, with the neighboring district closely housing the Banca d'Italia, or the Bank of Italy. The CSUF World News Team are definitely getting their steps in, from cathedrals through the fashion district, through the financial district to churches. We've definitely done a lot of walking. The 4th stop marched us over to the Church of San Maurizio.
I think the frescoes were some of the most beautiful paintings I'd ever seen, and seeing a lot of the iconic frescoes like the Noah's Ark triad was really cool to finally see that in person.
The Castello Sforza, or the Sforza Castle, was the finale of the tour, featuring museum exhibits home to a marble sculpture worked on by Michelangelo. Olympic sponsors also scattered the courtyard and the path leading up to the castle in preparation of the global games.
I hope that you will enjoy the Olympics. I hope that you will be then one day coming back.
Reporting from Milano, Italy, I'm Giselle Medina, CSUF World News. Those landmarks were breathtaking.
Beautiful.
I feel so lucky to have seen them up close and take photos and dress up in layers with cute scarves and coats. You can't do that back in OC, but I couldn't help but notice, Evan, did you have some trouble adjusting on the first day to the low temperatures?
Guys, this is cap on live, I promise you. I'd rather be super cold than burning hot. Let's just get that out of the way. And to adjust to a country, a European country that's 6,000 miles away from us, it's not for the faint of heart. Let that be known. And I was amongst locals. I was trying to be a local.
We're not locals. We're visiting reporters.
I'm a local now. And to even enjoy that local experience so much more, I was able to get an authentic Italian experience. I skipped out on the games one day. I put on an apron and I got in the kitchen. So I'm not going to lie, this food was amazing, and I have no cooking experience. I just want to promise everybody that as a 24-year-old, I don't know how I lived throughout the day. Shout out to mom. The food that we made here was help of Alfredo Bolletto, a longtime pasta chef. For 15 years, he decided to, when COVID was kind of coming around, he wanted to take a step into towns of Italy, where he teaches over a 3-hour cooking class, all these different ingredients. He does pizzas, pastas, gelatos, all freshly made from fresh ingredients. There was pumpkin ingredients. They had pesto and walnut sauce. I'm not going to lie. It was one of the greatest experiences I had making the food. And Alfredo did everything for us. It was super easy to learn. 113, a lot of wine. It was super enjoyable. And beyond that, it was a learning experience of he gave us recipes so we could take it back home and practice whenever we get there. And I kind of felt bad for the other journalism students that didn't go with me because I had a good time. My homie Kabir Kansara went with us. He's a part of the journalism program as well. And I'm gonna spill the beans. He didn't pay a single dime, but he was still able to get 2 plates of pasta just like I did. And he also got a lot of wine as well. And as my photog, I think that's how it should be, right? We didn't have to cover the Olympic Games. We wanted to do something a little bit on the side. And I think this was the perfect opportunity to do so. A lot of fun. And if I had to encourage anybody to do anything when they're out traveling abroad, it's to get that authentic experience. The food was delicious. The food was beyond.
I'm so jealous.
You should be jealous because I'm not going to share with anybody. I don't think I shared.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. It looked really, really good. Yeah.
It was.
But before we talk ourselves into hunger, we are going to go back to the Titan TV studio. Sergio, Jaden, I don't think it's a competition, but some of the food here was hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, my stomach is kind of growling at the experience that Evan had, and I'm personally jealous myself, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that just sounds so good right now.
I heard pumpkin too.
Yes.
Bomb. Now, listening to you two talk about your experiences is getting me a little reminiscent of the time we had covering the Paris Olympics. I missed the late nights, the food, especially golden food, and getting lost on the metro.
We definitely have a lot of stories to tell about our time at the 2024 Summer Olympics. Sergio, what's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory would have to be the closing ceremony that you and I both went to. That was incredible. I mean, so many nations all in one place, just so much unity in one stadium. It was truly a beautiful experience.
I think one of my favorite moments from that ceremony is definitely that closing ceremony, like that closing part of it all. Just the music, the fun, and just like the gathering of all of us and listening to My Way, that rendition of it was amazing. And just with the fireworks paired with it, just an amazing way to end the Olympic Games.
It was so surreal, and I seriously had goosebumps all night.
We're going to go back to Milan, where we are joined by Colin Costigan and Isabella Lyons, who are making the most out of their time in Italy.
Colin and Isabella, what has been the highlight of your time there so far?
Piazza di Bona here in Cortina.
Hey guys, it's been such a fun trip so far. It's gone by really fast. For me personally, I think that some of my favorite moments have been my day trip to Lake Como, watching bobsleigh, and then of course going on a hike in Cortina.
Yeah, Izzy, like you got to have your fun little Star Wars moment out in Lake Como, but I had the opportunity to do so many amazing things here. I got to go to the opening ceremony. I got to watch luge. I got to watch curling. And of course, I got to watch USA women's hockey. But Izzy, speaking of some of the favorite memories as well, you hinted at it a little bit, but the beautiful town of Cortina was another highlight of my time in Italy. It was nearly a half-day journey to get there, 2 hours by train, another 3 by bus, but it was well worth it. I had the chance to explore this stunning mountain destination as it found itself in the Olympic spotlight for the second time. Olympic cauldron is lit inside the Piazza di Bona here in Cortina. Known as the Queen of the Dolomites, this alpine city, perched over 1,200 meters above sea level, is beginning to feel the influence of the global spectacle. As a dual host with Milan, Cortina is home to 3 Olympic venues, the Tofane Alpine Skiing Center and the Cortina Sliding Center, with the closest to the city, the Olympic Ice Stadium, which hosts all the curling events. After World War II canceled what would have been the 1944 Olympics, Cortina earned the right to host the Games in 1956. At that time, 70 years ago, Italian alpine skier Giuliana Menuso made history by delivering the Olympic oath right here at the Olympic Ice Park, becoming the first female Olympian to do so. As for the city, it's home to roughly 5,000 residents, but that number soars to over 40,000 people with the arrival of the Olympic Games. Even for lifelong Cortina residents, the travel and global exposure is a welcoming sight.
It's wonderful because the atmosphere is so much more international that from what Cortina is used. Something really special about Cortina is that it's in the middle of the mountains. Wherever you look at, you see mountains, and from my perspective, you never get bored.
The central hub is the city center, full of lavish shops ranging from Gucci, Rolex, and Louis Vuitton. There are also dedicated pop-ups like the glowing 8-foot ice sculpture outside the Dior store. For a city heavily influenced by neo-Gothic structure, the staple is the bell tower. After its reconstruction in the mid-19th century, this tower, made up entirely of white dolomite, stands at over 220 feet tall. Perched next to the Olympic cauldron, this site has become a mainstay even for experienced travelers.
My favorite place probably would be right here when you see the Olympic flame. Like, you can look over, you can see get to Fana, you can see the mountains and the flames, so that's pretty sick.
Beyond the glitz and glamour, even first-time visitors from the United States enjoy the environment that surrounds them.
The people have been fabulous. I've met a lot of great people. The hosts have been wonderful, and it's obviously gorgeous.
For a city awaiting 70 years to host the Olympic spectacle once again, it has already accumulated plenty of attraction. Reporting from Cortina, Italy, I'm Colin Costigan with CSUF World News.
Well, I just got back from Cortina this afternoon, but before I was able to escape up to the mountains, I made sure to make the best of my time here, right here in Milano.
Well, it's been a memorable experience for both of us here, Izzy, but we are now going to send it back to Fullerton,
where Sergio and Jaden are standing by in Titan TV studio.
Gosh, thank you guys. I mean, I'm just jealous about missing out on a stay in Cortina. I mean, I had the chance to stay there over the summer, but the winter, that must be so different.
It truly seems like such a beautiful place.
It has to be magical.
We have a lot more to cover during our show. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to hear from a former Daily Titan editor-in-chief, now covering figure skating for USA Today. He is covering his first Olympic Games.
And for those of you watching on YouTube, please put your questions for the students in the chat. Our colleagues in Milan are going to take questions after the break. See you soon.
It's an end of a chapter, the start of a new beginning.
Cal State Fullerton has been quite incredible and really formative for me.
I am almost saddened by having to leave this school.
I'm really gonna miss college. I think more than I was anticipating.
The nursing school has prepared us for a great career. The faculty, I can't even begin to tell you how much they mean to me, especially in something as difficult as nursing school. It is so rigorous.
I'm proud of myself. I did something that I thought I couldn't do because the classes were hard. I didn't know at the time what I was capable of until where I'm at now.
My time here, from the very first day as an undergrad to the very last, has been so important to me. Conducting class with Dr. Barr, where I started to become really inspired. He taught us to be the best possible artist I could be.
I attribute my research experiences to being a member of the Burniford Lab. She really played a part in me becoming a scientist and feeling like I am one.
There's like this general buzz that goes on between all of us and working together to make something. Being able to be in the studios and be in the rooms and be able to actually feel like, oh, this feels very professional, changes everything.
I really take to heart the community. The community is everything.
It just really reassured me that this is where I need to be and this is what I need to do.
Having those connections and those friendships has really made me look forward to each and every day.
For me to walk across the stage, it makes me incredibly happy.
It's going to be a very fulfilling and validating moment for me.
I wouldn't be where I'm at without my parents.
My parents have always been my biggest supporters, so I think just having them there will be really exciting.
to graduate and have a career and feel driven.
This is something that they've dreamed of. And I don't actually see it as an end of a journey, but just the beginning.
At Cal State Fullerton, you don't just follow the path, you create your own. Where innovation meets boundless creativity. Every voice, every vision, every possibility. Where passion is pursued every day. Where opportunity makes the impossible become possible.
Everybody, before we dive back into our coverage, we would like to remind you to please put any questions for the Milan members in the chat.
We are going to go back to Italy, where we have Jaden Lovelady joining us live, who is the Daily Titan editor-in-chief, and assistant sports editor David Martinez. Welcome to the show, you two.
Thanks, guys. David and I both had the opportunity to spend some quality time with a Daily Titan alum, Jordan Mendoza, to chat about the industry and where it's gotten him today.
He's shown us that all things are possible. Just a few years ago, he was working for the CSUF student newspaper. Now he's a part of the working press here in Milan, covering one of the most high-profile events, figure skating.
Inside one of the biggest venues at the Winter Olympics, Jordan Mendoza is covering figure skating at the world stage. But before Milan, before USA Today, there was the Daily Titan.
I just have the mentality of like, my favorite story is the next one I'm going to write.
That mindset started in Fullerton. At the Daily Titan, Mendoza worked his way up like few ever had, from sports editor to editor-in-chief, and eventually senior editor. He wasn't just covering games. He was leading a newsroom through protests, breaking news, and a pandemic.
I learned so many valuable tools about just how to become a reporter. And it was all just like really on the fly. I'm forever grateful for it. And I definitely am not in this position right now if I don't do what I did at Cal State Fullerton and with the Daily Titan.
It was that ability to adapt that got him here to Milan. When USA Today called needing someone for figure skating coverage, Mendoza was the one to pick up. And he did it knowing that in just under a week, he'd be getting married.
They told me today, and I was like, gotta talk to my fiance about this because we're getting married. And so when I was nervous to talk to her about it, but when I told her, she's like, you have to do this. You have to, it only makes sense for us to do it.
Since August, Mendoza has immersed himself in figure skating, from learning scoring systems to studying athletes and their relationships. Because for him, it's never about just the event. It's about the people inside it.
To me, I have those moments where I'm really proud of a story, and I'm like, man, I feel like I really did a really good job on it. And I'm like, all right, let's do the next. What's the next one? Let me tackle that one.
And even now, covering the Olympics, his focus hasn't changed. From the newsroom at Cal State Fullerton to the Olympic Games in Milan, the stage is bigger, the deadlines are tighter, but the mindset hasn't changed. Reporting in Milan, I'm David Martinez, CSUF World News.
Let's bring back our Fullerton host for the next part of our show.
Sergio, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do. My first one for you two is from Carolyn Wong of the OC Register. She's asking, what has been the most unexpected aspect of providing coverage from the Olympic Games?
That's a great question. I think something unexpected has definitely been the weather, and trying things so cold and having to do it with cold fingers is really hard when you're a mobile journalist, but it's been really cool.
I think the cold weather for me had to be in Cortina. I'm not even going to go about the weather. I think just the small atmosphere, the small city, being able to just run into athletes and their families really had that intimate community and just stories all around.
Wow, that should be a really lucky experience, especially running into some of the athletes. Another question from Carolyn is, what are the communication skill areas where you have been seeing the most challenge and growth during your time covering the Olympic Games?
I would say a challenge has definitely just been the language barrier out here has been a little bit hard to navigate, but it actually was shocking how many people are willing to talk and excited to talk to journalists from somewhere else.
Yeah, I think it's no doubt the language barrier has to be the main thing. I mean, thankfully, a lot of people here in Italy speak English, and it's really grown to have that bilingual stature. I expected that my Spanish would be able to help me, but haven't really had to use that here.
Well, thanks, Jaden and David. We hope you had a great time talking with Jordan and hopefully watching some exciting Olympic events.
Absolutely. And speaking of exciting events, our reporters, although at the biggest sporting event in the world, could not miss out on a chance to watch America's largest sporting event, the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at how they were able to catch the big game in Milan.
The group traveled to a local sports bar where a club team, the Milano Rams, also gathered to watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Although the game kicked off shortly after midnight in Milan, energy was high as a little taste of American culture. For more on this story, check out the group's website at www.CSUF-olympics.com.
Now let's head back to Milan. We have Justin Rosette and Brady Charette joining us from Politecnic di Milano. How are you guys doing? Well, I'm sure the two of them are doing very well. I mean, I was on call with Justin earlier, and he was super excited. And he was just kind of talking about his experience as a whole, mentioned that the things at the hospital have been a little bit tricky to navigate, but they had a great time in Cortina as well.
Yes.
And I know that Brady is a Patriots fan, and I heard that he was very disappointed about what happened in the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, sometimes you win, you lose some. So,
exactly.
Yeah. How are you guys doing over there?
This is what we call spontaneous journalism. Look at them go.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Justin. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing out there?
We're doing great. This experience has been great so far. Jaden and Sergio, thank you guys so much for bringing us in. Now, Brady, we are here. We are going to talk about our experience in Milan, but first, we have to talk about a big event that we had during this time. Now, Brady, your name is Brady. You're named after Tom Brady, a Patriot. You're a Patriots fan. The Patriots were just in the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, but lost the game. As a Patriots fan, how was it for you watching the game here in Milan?
It was an unforgettable experience. For starters, the game starting after midnight was crazy. Game ending after 4 a.m. It was an unbelievable experience. Everyone there at the bar had so much fun. We all were having a great time. Food was great. The environment was great. Despite the disappointing loss in the game, I had a great time, and it was an experience I'll remember for a very long time.
How's your experience been in Cortina altogether so far, in Milan altogether?
Yeah, aside from the American events, the events here at the Winter Olympics have been starting off, going to the opening ceremony, going to Cortina, and going to curling, and then finishing off last night with USA and Canada, which was an unbelievable match. 2-1 win for USA.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable environment. So that's been awesome so far. What about you? What has your Italy experience been like so far?
Yeah, I really loved Italy. It's my first time being out of the country, kind of the same thing as you said. It helped me a little bit because we got here on my birthday. So we got to have a little birthday dinner. I got sung happy birthday. I did blow out the candle early on accident. We don't have to talk about that. But it's been a great time. I've been so blessed to be here with you guys, all of my friends here, to get closer to you guys, doing things in journalism I never thought I would do. It's been an amazing experience so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the trip. Now, from ourselves to the games themselves, it's hard to avoid conflict when you have athletes and supporters from all over the world in one place. My experience has been positive, but the same cannot be said for one athlete in particular. For an update on the political state of the world, or political state of the Olympics to be more specific, take a look at this video I put together.
Despite the International Olympic Committee's efforts to keep the Olympic Games apolitical, the Italian National Olympic Committee leaned into politics in the 2026 opening ceremony with rare speeches on the theme of harmony in tumultuous times. Yet, they drew the line by disqualifying Vladislav Haraskevich, a Ukrainian skeleton athlete, for wearing a helmet that honored his country's fallen athletes during their war against Russia.
I don't think it's fair because I don't think it was that much of a political decision. Whereas a tribute to people because he said that they were his friends too. So I think it was more of a tribute to them than go against the government. I totally agree with it. He just stood with his decision. He wanted to make a point. This shows how Ukrainians like really do care about their country.
There have been many political stands taken in the history of the Olympics, with possibly the most impactful one being in the 1968 Mexico City Games, when Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists on the podium as a sign of Black power. In response to the Mexico City incident, the IOC established a charter called Rule 50, which states, quote, "Every kind of demonstration or propaganda, whether political, religious, or racial, in the Olympic areas is forbidden."
By upholding rules like Charter 50 and banning athletes for peacefully protesting, the IOC has strayed away from its original messaging of harmony and peace.
I spoke with fans of the Olympics on their thoughts about politics being involved.
We ban countries for political reasons, which is a political act, which is done through sport, so cannot really separate the sport from opinions, from humans.
Some details, like you said, like the helmet, it's very good to just make people realize like some stuff.
Yeah.
You're coming to a meeting group of every single country. Of course there's politics involved. Like how on earth is that not possible?
Sport is a microcosm of culture and politics, and with an event as globally publicized as the Olympics, they cannot be separated, even with rules that try to stop it.
Probably in the future, people will just revisit that rule and maybe word it in a more specific way because, like I said, saying no politics at all involved is kind of ridiculous.
It is still to be determined if the IOC will change any of its rules surrounding politics ahead of the Los Angeles 2028 Games. Reporting with CSUF World News, this is Justin Rosette.
Now, Brady, that was more of the somber, sad side of the Olympics. Let's talk about one of the highlights of our trip, and that was Cortina, one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. What was your experience like in Cortina?
Our experience was absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, starting out the trip, going to curling, and then a few of us took a trip up to the mountains and to see skiers and snowboarders at their best. Let's take a look inside the snowy paradise that gives people from around the world a glimpse of the Winter Olympic spirit. At the heart of a co-hosting town for the 2026 Winter Olympics, Funivia Florio awaits with incredible visuals and an unforgettable experience. Cable cars lift visitors over 2,000 meters into the beautiful mountains of northern Italy, where thrill-seeking skiers and snowboarders are greeted with an opportunity to embark on the same terrain as former Olympians. Combine that with indoor entertainment and delicious food, Funivia Florio provides guests with a feeling they won't ever forget. We have more to come after the break. Stress ensued in the days leading up to the games. We'll have a report on the controversies surrounding the newest hockey arena here in Milan.
And we've had our fair share of celebrity sightings here. Stay with us after the break, live from Milan.
What does it take to discover the greatness within you? It takes resilience.
When I first got to Cal State Fullerton, I felt lost. Then I found my community. It was like a caring family cheering me on.
I wasn't sure about being a chemist. My professors showed me I could. People believed in me here, and I learned to believe in myself. Discover the resilience within you at Cal State Fullerton.
And turns. Let's take a look at the medal count with 2 days of competition remaining.
Currently, Norway is in first place with the most medals with 17 gold, 9 silver, and 10 bronze. The United States is in second place with 9 gold, 12 silver, and 6 bronze. And Italy sits at third place with 9 golds, 5 silver, and 12 bronze.
Thank you so much for that gold medal minute, Jaden.
Of course.
The USA is usually much stronger in the Summer Olympics than the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, but there has been so many amazing performances out there, especially from the Americans, especially in figure skating. I just saw that and it was amazing. Let's bring our last pair in from Milan, Jonathan Mansour and Sophia Marine. How are you guys doing?
Thanks, Jaden. We're doing good.
It's awesome to be with you all.
Supposed to be the Q&A. Yeah, it's supposed to be Q&A.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to ask you another question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. What has been your favorite food to eat out there?
You want to go first?
That's been a really hard question. As much as I really wanted the Italian food here, but honestly, the Filipino food was my favorite. It was my first time ever going to a Filipino restaurant, and thankfully some of the people in our crew are Filipino, so they showed me some of the ways too on how to eat it. And it was honestly amazing. What do you think?
Unfortunately, I was not able to make that Filipino dinner, but I think the best thing I had was the pizza in Cortina. We had a restaurant on our last night there, and it was really good. I got a nice margarita pizza, and it was very tasty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really shocked about that Filipino food. Like, I saw some photos about it, and I just didn't know, like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? But knowing your answer now, I guess it's really good.
I did see some photos. It did look really bomb. I do have another question for you two. This one is from Samantha Vo. And Jonathan, this is your second Olympics that you're covering. I know you can maybe relate to this a little bit, but after covering an Olympics event in another country, how excited are you two for the Olympic Games to come to Los Angeles?
Oh, man. I think I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled because it just allows other students to get that opportunity to cover the Olympics in their home city. You know, it's an honor for it to come to Los Angeles. I hope that we'll be able to cover it once again, but it's just really exciting for the future of the Cal State Fullerton students. Hopefully they'll be able to have this opportunity again.
Yes, I am also very excited for LA 28. Coming from Northern California, it's been really excited to have the LA community and the culture and living down here too. So I'm just really excited for the games to be down here also.
Amazing. It's just so exciting. You have been both working hard on your stories there in Italy. Tell us, what is your most memorable story that has been?
Yeah, Jaden, with NHL players returning to the Winter Games, many eyes were on the new hockey arena under construction in Milan. I was able to take a deeper dive into the new Santa Giulia Arena, which is the home to the ice hockey gold medal matches.
The rink wasn't done yet. The arena wasn't finished being completed yet. There were big holes in the wall. The seats weren't all there. It was total chaos, but the quality of the ice was a big concern.
Preparation leading up to the 2026 Olympics at Santa Giulia Arena has been a struggle. And with NHL players participating for the first time in 12 years, the stakes were even higher, as the NHLPA was adamant that they wanted to play even if risk of injury was higher.
But the players, we know that risk, but we want this so bad that, as long as there's a rink and there's boards and there are referees and there's goals, they'll play.
Beyond the ice, fans have also had to deal with less than convenient in-arena amenities.
I couldn't see the Jumbotron at all. There was a bunch of cameras sitting in front of it, to the point where I was looking for how much time was left in the period. So they had the ribbon scoreboards. All it just said is women's ice hockey. I couldn't see how much time was left.
Despite all the backlash and the criticism that the Olympics have faced, fans have pushed that to the side and are enjoying the Olympic Games and the hockey matches that Milano has in store.
Honestly, the arena feels complete. I don't notice anything uncompleted when I'm here, and overall, I've had a great time.
The seats are filled. The crowds are awesome. It's the Olympics, man. You get the Slovaks and the Czechs and the Denmark. Oh my God, it's the best atmosphere in the world. everything we were worried about the rink, it's all fine.
But above all, the ice conditions have been great.
The ice has held up pretty well considering how much traffic is on it these days. They somehow or another pulled this whole thing together.
For CSUF World News, I am Jonathan Mansour.
Now joining us in the show is Francisco Perez. Francisco attended the USA versus Canada match on February 10th, where he watched the rebirth of a rivalry.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Last night, the USA women's hockey team had another matchup against Canada, but this one was intense. With the game all tied up, Megan Keller scored a goal in overtime to secure a gold medal for Team USA. During their group play match last week, I had a chance to talk with fans about the USA's competition with our neighbors to the north.
USA and Canada meet once again on the Olympic stage in Milan, renewing one of the fiercest rivalries in international sports. For decades, the two nations have defined women's hockey, turning every matchup into something that feels like a championship.
It's like such a good North American rivalry, you know, just like a little trash talking, but still like this amazing sense of pride for both countries.
That pride-filled arena, as fans on both sides celebrated every moment of the game.
This feels like a gold medal match.
Losing is not an option. I want them to win. They probably put a lot of effort. I cheered.
From Milan to North America, USA and Canada are once again proving why the rivalry remains the heartbeat of the Olympic women's hockey. This is Francisco Perez with Cal State Fullerton World News signing out.
Flavor Flav is known for his signature clock and bringing the energy as the hype man for the USA bobsled and skeleton. I had the opportunity to interview him and take further exploration into his endeavors supporting female athletes.
We outside. We in the building. Yeah, boy.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and member of the hip-hop group Public Enemy, Flavor Flav has brought a new spin onto the Milano Cortina 2026 Olympic Games. As the official hype man for USA Bobsled and Skeleton, being physically present at events, and showing his signature clock, Flavor Flav has shown what the support from celebrities looks like.
Let me tell you something, man. It feels so good to be just being a hype man for both, period. Yes. You know what I'm saying? In the whole nine. It all started with me sponsoring the water polo team. You know what I'm saying? And then this started from when I came up to do a bobsled ride. Once I took the bobsled ride and I did the skeleton, I really liked it. And I ended up joining the team.
In between heats, Flavor Flav gives the team his encouragement and words of wisdom.
And just concentrate, you know what I'm saying, and just focus, and just drive safely, and just have fun.
Flavor Flav has become a vocal advocate for women athletes, using both his platform and his music to push for better recognition and respect. Building off of Public Enemy's iconic track, He Got Game, Flavor Flav introduced a remix and reimagined version titled She Got Game, mentioning how important it is to have women in sports.
We took He Got Game and we turned it into She Got Game, just to show everybody, you know what I'm saying, that the woman is just as much powerful as the man. All they want to do is get some recognition and just feel wanted.
Talking about his projections of LA 28, Flavor Flav talks about focusing in the present.
Well, that's to be determined, you know what I'm saying, because you know what we do, we react to the time right now that's going on, you know what I'm saying, in the whole nine. So we'll see what happens going towards the summer. You know, and if there's more to write about, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to write it and release it.
This is Sophia Marine, reporting live for CSUF World News. We've really enjoyed our time here. It took a while to get acclimated. I actually have mixed emotions about going home. It's been such a wonderful experience, but I miss my family. What about you, Jonathan? What has been your experience been different than your Paris 2024 Summer Olympics time?
Well, first of all, shout out to mom and dad. I know they're watching, but the main difference between the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics here, man, it's cold. I'm freezing. But just overall, it's been a great time to be here, especially since this is the first Olympics where there are two host cities. And lucky for all of us, part of CSUF World News, we were able to go to Milan and Cortina. For me personally, in Milan, I was able to take in the city, go to a hockey game, and then in Cortina, watch curling and got to snowboard in the Dolomites. Well, that is going to be it from us around in Italy. We hope everyone enjoyed our Olympic coverage. big shout out to everyone who was a part of this journey, and we'll see you guys soon in Fullerton. Jaden, Sergio, take us.
Thank you, Jonathan and Sophia. All eyes will be on the Los Angeles Summer Olympic Games in 2 years, LA 28, which has been a recent hot topic of discussion.
After the Olympic flame is extinguished in Verona, Italy on Sunday, the wait is on before it sets off on a journey from Olympia towards Los Angeles.
The flame, once it lands on American soil, will visit all 50 states before taking part in the opening ceremony in 2028.
Well, I think it's been an amazing time, and I think it's time for us to end this Calm Live show. For us here in Titan TV, we thank you so much for joining us here from Fullerton.
And a huge thank you to Francisco Perez for producing an awesome opening slideshow. You killed it, man. We close out by going back to Milan one more time, where everybody is enjoying the Olympic festivities.
Wait.
Yeah! I'm so excited to see them back home. The group will be heading back to the U.S. in a couple of days as the games finish up this weekend.
Arrivederci.
See ya, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.